Sorry about that. Had to do it. That's what she sounded like. And so
just could not.
So your punishment was to go up in the most dangerous place. It was the well, which would be totally illegal. They wouldn't allow that anymore. But that was your punishment, to get out of your seat, and sheepishly, you got called out in a big time way. You had to go walk all the way up the bus, which seemed like a long way. And then you had to stand there, and if you got in an accident, dead. Dead.
That was your punishment.
Like that was your punishment.
For being an idiot.
Yep. Adventures with Rory from Elroy's coming up a little bit later on in our 70th episode. My name is Todd. Hudson is going to come back in just a moment after letting Roy from Elroy out of the studios.
Letting the dog out.
Yeah, who let the dog out? It was Hudson this time. So this is episode number 70. And
It sure is.
Got a lot of good things planned. We're going to have another little short interview / promotional portion in our middle section with Gandy Dancer Festival organizer and
extraordinaire.
Yeah, Kenny McMillan. He stopped by for about 10 minutes, so we'll have that. And we're going to hopefully watch a short clip of some original Gandy dancers, some people that actually used the tool, the Gandy tool.
Maybe for the people who aren't from around here and aren't going to be coming to Mazo for the Gandy Dancer Festival, they get to see what it actually is.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And then we get the Wonder Wheel.
Wonder Wheel. Something about school starting, because we're middle of August and almost the end of August, and so school is upon us.
Guess what? We're 30 away from 100.
Yeah.
Which 30 is a lot. That's a half a year.
That's a lot.
But we're going to try and do it.
Plugging away anyway.
Yep. Whether people watch or not, we're going to keep doing it. So we'll jump into number 7.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
This is the 70th edition episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast, number 70. And we're all here. The gang's all here. Roy's going to join us a little bit later, and we're going to have a special guest on the couch. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. But John is here producing the program. He's got the headphones on. Hudson is leaving, but he's our executive producer. He's had enough. Drew is to my right, and Mr. Joe Bobby is over there supporting the green and gold.
Big time. Got a hat.
That hat, did we ever determine what year that hat was? It looks like a Dan Devine era hat, like in the mid-'70s. What did we find out?
Former Notre Dame.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Coach.
Yep. And on the third segment, we've got the Wonder Wheel, back by popular demand. And just a word... we don't do this a lot, but because we don't like to, I mean, when you have such a following, such an audience, to start to talk about naming people, you're going to leave thousands of people out, tens of people out. But we just want to say thanks to Sally. She comments all the time,
faithful.
watches all the time. Thanks a lot. There are other people that watch. Michelle Van Shindig watches.
Thank you to the voiceover people who ask us questions on our voiceover videos.
Oh, yeah. There's a little
Give them a
tease
little-
for voiceover.
Little love.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to get started. Are you?
I
You
am.
got your- or were you going to finish? Did you have more to say?
I don't have a lot. I got more pictures coming up during Mazo Site-Wise to share about the village of Mazo, what's going on around there.
Do we have anything for Wisconsin Heights Weekly? Oh, okay. We're going to jump right into Wisconsin
Sounds like
Heights
a lot
Weekly.
of material.
Lay it on us, Joe.
All right. So, Wisconsin Heights Weekly first, then Mazo Maney Mustangs Minute. After that, August 18th, we're getting a hint of some sports coming. Just a hint of it. If you
This is a teaser.
if you waft it pretty well, it's just a hint of it. August 18th, football scrimmage at Green Bay, NEW.
Oh,
That's how it's spelled.
I thought maybe they were playing the Packers.
Lutheran.
Okay.
That is the 18th.
That means
Then-
Lutheran,
Then
Seems like it.
Saturday, so that's a Friday.
Northeast, Western.
Saturday, the 19th, JV and varsity volleyball scrimmage at Lancaster High School. I'm guessing that's an all-day event. So they're just sniffing around. They're feeling it out.
Kind of preseason work.
Yeah. So that is also Scott Moore ended up resigning, I believe, and taking a new position somewhere
Too bad.
else. So he is no longer the elementary
Wisconsin
K
Heights.
through 5 or 4K through 5
Principal.
Wisconsin Heights Elementary School principal.
Who is now?
Dale Green is taking over again.
Again.
Yep, he was the
Mazo.
Mazo. He was in charge of the whole thing there for a while,
It's going back and
Well,
forth.
shoot.
and
match.
then just was the Mazo 3 through 5. So anyway,
Nice.
thank you for your service, Scott,
Yeah.
Yes.
and good luck in your new endeavor.
He was a
And
guest here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watcher of the podcast. Good friend of the podcast. And better friend of Joe.
Hey, and I just remembered this, that it's we have that idea of Mazo site-wise, and we always talk about, guess who I saw, a sub heading underneath that, a subsection of it. But I had a guess who, you and I had a guess who I saw
Moment.
as part of the Wisconsin Heights Weekly almost.
We
We
sure
saw
did.
Dan Jurgens down at the
Oh, yeah.
1855
Doctor.
Coffee House, Dr. Dan Jurgens. And we chit-chatted with him for a bit. You talked longer than I did, but we asked him about Joe Marks. Of course, we were concerned about Joe Marks. Remember, he had a problem. But now I think it's just an upper GI thing. He's just got to watch his diet. And where was he, Texas?
He
was
said,
visiting?
Dad said, have you heard anything about Joe? How's he doing? And he said, well, he's in Texas. And that's how he said, so he must be doing all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
You
So we
know
got
how-
an update on Joe Marks. Imagine both those guys will be back teaching like it's going out of style this fall.
Good. We need them.
Yep. You're good at what you do.
All right, Joe, what else you got?
Then the Mazomani Mustangs Minute. Last night, we won.
Not last night. Last Thursday, because this
Yep.
comes out on Wednesday.
Yep.
So we didn't play Tuesday
Yep.
night.
Won in extra innings last Thursday against the Wisconsin Dells, the number 1 seed.
The pesky Dells.
Good Dells team.
They showed up
Much
with
improved,
everything
much
they
improved.
had there.
Yep. And we won 3-2
Yeah. have some
in
of that.
extras.
Yep.
Our next game, playoff game,
Yep.
we played at 7:30 at Reedsburg Pirates on Thursday the 17th.
Pirates.
So you got a plethora of things to do. Thursday Mustangs game.
7 Thursday.
Then 18th football scrimmage. Saturday varsity scrimmage for volleyball.
Woo.
All right.
Just a full slate.
What is the 18th? Is that a Friday?
Yes, because 17th is a
So
Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, get
Take
your
a break.
weekend going. Take some PTO on Friday so you can go watch that scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Not the scrimmage, the volleyball.
All right. On to Mazomani.
You mean Satwise?
Yeah.
Oh, let me say,
All right, so there was a little bit of a post about the post office
Oh.
on Mazomani. What's happening? Mazomani. Mazo. And I thought I'd just come to the defense, if you will, of the post office. Because the post was basically that somebody that works for the post office was saying that they're down 2 post office carriers
Oh, wow.
for Arena and the Mazo area. And so there's 5 routes that 3 people are having to do. And so they were saying
We need our
Just-
post office men
they
to
do
get
their
back
best
to their
that they can-
roots.
doing the best that they can to, or deliver it on time and deliver it on deliver it to the right post office places or the mailboxes, but that, if you have a problem, just bring it down there. They'll take care of it. And that there's also made mention that there's job openings.
Oh.
So if you've got a problem with it, if you're having a problem with the post office,
You can help yourself.
you can help yourself by
Be
joining.
the change you hope to see in the post office.
So they were just letting people know, because I think there's been some
Animosity.
problems that
think
there might be some people that are grumpy or wondering what's going on with how late. Supposedly, some of them are working from 9 until 9.
Whoa.
Delivering mail.
Working
the extra,
9 to 9.
with the extra stops that they have to
Barely.
make. And so if something's a little late, you're not getting it's in the wrong mailbox, just walk it over if it's something that you know, or take it down and they'll take care of it.
Yeah,
and
you
there
could
won't be
start.
just don't make. Try not to make. What the person was saying was trying to give a little bit of a background story so that people can understand why there's maybe some issues, and just made a job post, if you will, in that there's opportunities because of that to join.
And return to sender.
A couple of things with regard to that before you go on.
Sure.
I wonder when it's times like this where you have difficulty with these things. What would be kind of nice is if somebody would make like signs up that said like "Be kind," and they put them on there.
That'd be a really good
What do you think about that? Would you think that go over?
I don't know.
Be kind.
I don't know.
And that'd be especially for postal workers right now.
I think
I
that
don't know,
if-
something to
I
think
think
about.
that if you were having a grumpy, bad day, a sign would probably change your attitude.
It probably would, yeah. I mean, I would think it would help the postal workers because they're out there from 9 to 9.
Yeah,
Yep.
And that would be nice to know that there's signs out there, at least encouraging it.
encouraging.
So maybe that's something somebody might think about. I mean, feel free to take that idea and run with it.
Yep.
Second thing is don't spout this out now. But if somebody asked you, who owns the post office, you would say
The federal
government.
Yep.
Government.
Of course you would. You know who owns the post office in Mazo?
Who?
John Traeger.
What doesn't he own?
He owns the post office. I mean, it's the building. I
he
understand
owns the
that.
street,
He doesn't
too.
own the post office per se, the government organization, but he owns the building. I didn't know you could
Post
do
office
that.
is in.
Because he owns the apartments right next door,
Well,
right?
he used to. They
Oh.
were Merton Walters, Traeger. Traeger. Yeah, he owned those. But anyway, there was that, and then I was thinking of one other. Oh, that used to be something really big. Like you had to wait in line. I mean, it was a big thing. You had to take a test to be a postal worker, and
sense.
everybody wanted those jobs. So, I mean, I think it's probably pretty decent pay, I'd think.
You get
And
a lot of
decent
holidays off.
benefits and stuff. Yeah, you get
A long lunch, I think.
Yeah.
You're supposed to at least.
Yeah. Maybe that's just maybe you talk to like Randall von Brockman and some
Oh,
of these
yeah,
guys.
find
Maybe
out
he
what the
says,
pennies are.
that's what they say.
So he's
But
been there for a
behind-
long time, so
but
you
behind
think he
the
likes
scenes,
it.
they work you.
Well,
Maybe
working.
I don't know. Anyway, back to you.
Working
So
for
that's
those
that's
bennies.
it about the post office issues.
Thank you for addressing that.
Yeah,
head
you're
on.
welcome. This
No pun intended.
this Friday there's the live music at the Iron Amethyst. It's featuring Sam Ness. I think we've heard that name before
He's
around
from
the area.
Sauk
Yep.
originally.
Oh,
Yeah.
Luke Van Ness, his brother.
The food truck that will be there is Soho Gourmet, and I forgot to look up what that will all entail.
Well, what you
But
want?
you can
what
look up
Yeah.
there.
That's
I'm
the
sure they have a
teaser.
Facebook page, SOHO.
What
and
you
then
were
Gourmet.
doing? What you were doing
Find
is
their
What
making
does
menus.
sure.
Soho mean? I thought they used to have Soho salmon. I thought there was
Coho.
a type of. Is that coho?
Coho.
Okay, my bad.
No, but
It's
what
like
John
like
was
South
Mahi
Hollis,
Mahi.
South Hollister, which I think is like a California.
Yep,
Is that what that
Southern
is?
California.
South-
Soho, that's
okay.
what it is, yeah.
so
It's a T-shirt line.
what John was doing, he should
Clothesline?
have given himself credit for it. Was, please be careful. Give himself credit for not showing people what it is, so that they go down and find out for
Oh
themselves.
yeah, good
Oh,
idea.
wow.
Teaser.
And then I won't go into detail because I know we have somebody coming to talk about this or has talked about it already. But this is happening this weekend. Big to do. And then just a reminder, I'm sure that
Gandy Dancer.
Thank you. Mr. Schrader, James Schrader, as some people call him. I don't feel comfortable calling him that since he was my...
He asked us to call him Jimbo.
Really?
No, it.
He was my principal. So anyway,
Sounds good.
he'll let you know more. But August is when their concerts are outside for at Lake Marion, and they start at 6 and go to 8, and they have different bands that come down, and you can bring out your lawn chairs and hang out, listen to some live music in August. So
You know what shows that we are a really local, like, not that we're against Black Earth at all. We
No.
like Black Earth and stuff, but we're so focused on Mazomania right now that last weekend was Field Days.
Oh,
and we
no.
didn't even mention. The week
Didn't even
before
know
that.
about
I
it.
didn't
I
even
know.
hear a thing about
Well, I
it.
didn't see it. I didn't see about it
Yeah.
until Natalie Beal from the Chamber, Mazo Chamber, mentioned it in What's Happening Mazomania.
I didn't see any advertisements either.
Well, that was the
before.
problem, is we were in the wrong
I just saw one on
Facebook
KP.
group.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Maybe they don't.
Is that all you got?
Maybe they don't
Yep,
advertise.
That's all I
the
got because I knew that
Mazomanias.
there's probably
Yeah,
more
I don't
coming
want us
from.
there.
Plus, Mr. Schrader and the other gentleman that handles the Gandy
Kenny.
Dancer stuff, Kenny, would handle that part. So I don't know if to go into details. So, like
Yeah.
I said, so many people want to be a part of Mazo site-wise that my job is kind of now just
You're a man for the
setting the
people.
table for
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
All right, Dad's got
So
some stuff.
I wanted to, just before we get to the construction area, I wanted to say people were probably right away on their edge of their seat saying, "Why is Todd mentioning John Traeger owning the post office?" That's a great question. And we went on a ride with John Traeger and talked about Mazo, talked about his
did.
businesses, and we're going to be doing that again this week. We'll actually have done it today when this comes out. And so we'll have at least a 2-part, maybe a 3-part ride-along interview with John coming up in the next few weeks. So you won't want to miss that. He's going to talk about the grocery store and all sorts of stuff.
Groceries.
Calling it the ride
Yeah, good idea. Ride.
with John Traeger.
Okay, so up here we've got the 5. Well, if there's 4 pictures, there's one that's going to be for Adventures with Roy from Elroy.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know where that went. We'll have to find that.
Wow.
So let's go to the one
sure you
over there.
sent it?
Yep. It's in the folder, or it's in my inbox. We'll load it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Was it a different email?
No. So
'Cause- okay.
so this is where the Family Dollar is going to be. Now we've heard
Maybe.
rumors that they didn't get access from Highway 14 before they built, or they were starting to build this,
Construction.
before they started to clean this, deforest this. But now I've heard from another person, nope, that's not true. They've taken care of that.
dead wrong.
Everything's fine. I don't know where they're going to get access to it. But you can see that things have changed there, not much, except there are weeds growing there. So it's been at least a couple, 3 weeks since they've been doing any activity, which makes people start whispering again, what's going on about the Family Dollar? A little town like Mazo, these types of things have a tendency to get the thing, the whispering going.
Rumor mill.
Yeah, and so again, we're just here reporting the news, but there's weeds growing there. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since our last update of when they've done any work on there. Is there another shot of that?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we have another picture of weeds.
yeah. No, go back there. Okay, right next door is the bus garage, and you can see right there. Oh, go back a little bit. Go back. See that thing? We're hiring right there, and they're hiring. And over to the left, I don't think you can see it, but I think it's like $20 per hour. You
Yep.
can start, and so
This is a
you could
30 mile an hour
join
sign.
our team at Right Way, whatever.
go
You're not-
right way.
You're not
Go
gonna
right
be.
way.
You're not gonna be driving this.
No.
You're gonna be driving
No.
something like this.
Right.
Yep.
Correct. And so they're looking for bus drivers. All right. And there's a reason.
Something like this.
There's a reason that I brought this up, and the reason I brought that up is right there.
Right
There's
here.
the number 608-401. What is it, Hudson?
1979.
1070.
I think it's 1070.
Yep. 1070.
Joe's going
1070.
a little too far in. It's a
Okay.
little pixelated. Maybe we can, 1070.
Yeah.
That's the number to call if you
Big
want
1070.
to get $20 an hour to drive a bus. And the reason I was doing that for twofold reason.
Okay.
One, because we're all about supporting Mazo, and this is the local and Wisconsin Heights Weekly, so we want people to drive the bus. Second of all, what was my second reason?
School is coming up
It's
soon.
school's coming up, And as part of the Wonder Wheel, later on, we're going to have a school bus related question. Though that's at least one that could come up, one of the choices. You never know.
School
My
bus
guess would be
hit.
that it will come up. So let's go on to the next couple
Thrasher.
because I know we're in a hurry. Hudson has asked me
I'd
to
rather
not take
know.
very much time here.
Oops.
Next, please.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about you.
It's
It's
kind of a
Joe.
nice trash can back there too.
Yeah, it was kinda
Which
nice.
one? This one right here?
That one right there.
Okay, I can zoom in on
I
that.
think that's a trash receptacle. Okay, there we are again. Now I want to point out two things here. First of all, look at the grass.
Which one?
The greenest grass is where the old parking lot used to be at Wick Building. And so that, even without rain, it's really doing a nice job. In fact, the older grass isn't even as nice as the newer grass.
It's really not.
And so we're going to look forward to this fall when
there's
it all
nice
blends
aqueducts
together.
under there.
Do you
Now,
think that green grass is getting a little cocky? Thinking, hey,
Man,
we're new grass. We're doing pretty
yeah.
good. We're greener than you.
Yeah, but the old grass has been there for probably 60 years or
Yeah.
55 years.
This is the old stuff on this side, and this is the new stuff here.
Thank you.
So old, new.
Yeah, and then out there, you can't see it there, and I didn't take a picture of it, where the new fitness center is going to be.
Oh, yeah, let me get there.
Who's into fitness?
Right back there.
Velocity.
Yeah, Velocity. There's a lot of cars, trucks and cars, and there's a lot going on. And as the other day, guess who I saw?
What?
Guess.
I can't guess.
Guess.
I can't guess.
Guess.
As part of
Sally?
guess who I saw?
You saw Wes Keezer.
Wes Keezer was walking, and Wes actually
works
has,
right here.
has an office. I
Right
don't know
here.
which one
This
it is,
is
but
it.
he has an
Right
office.
here.
And he came walking up to me, and I said, you're going to be the most in shape person in Mazomania, because all you got to do is walk downstairs. You're going to get exercise already.
Oh, true.
And they're going to let him stay there upstairs, and then he can just work out whenever he wants to. So you're going to see a lot of changes in Wes's physique. But he
Not to
knows.
say Wes's physique is
No,
not
it's fine.
enviable already.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, he's going to blow up. Is what he's going to do. He's going to get huge. But here's the thing.
Jacked. Yeah, jacked.
Here's the thing. He said, and he's right upstairs
Yep,
all the
right
time.
here.
He said that they just got all their new equipment, and he says it's really nice.
It
It's
is.
all
I
brand
saw
new.
them
It's
moving
very
it in.
nice.
It looks very nice.
Just a little highlight.
And I
there.
think this might be his car
You
that
have a
he's
stair
selling right
stepper?
here.
He's selling
I didn't
his,
see that,
his
but
truck that used to
Yep.
be his father-in-law's.
Right
Yeah,
here.
Everett Reeve.
I saw a bunch of equipment that looked like some of the equipment that they had at the wellness center, which was also very nice equipment. So
So we can go to the next one, and then I'll be pretty much done. And then this is the Emily and
Sevenplex.
Reeve Road 7-plex. And it doesn't look like they've done much work, but they have been around. And there are things underneath that I didn't take a picture that, they're
You
doing.
don't have a plane, aerial. You're not a pilot.
Or a
didn't-
drone.
I
A
don't
lot
have
of
a
people
drone
aren't pilot,
either.
though.
No.
Let's get the first thing
I'm
that
You
not a
didn't
pilot.
remember that you weren't a
I
pilot.
didn't remember I wasn't a
Let's
pilot.
get the first thing that you're not. You're not
Right.
a pilot.
And so I didn't take, because it says, I'm a law-abiding citizen. If you point right there to the right there, come back a little bit, there's a sign there that says sidewalk is closed. Right
And
there. That's
caution.
and on the other side, that part of the sidewalk, so I didn't feel comfortable going in there. I don't
Plus
want
it says
anybody to
there's a
see me
deep
doing
trench.
something illegal.
See,
But things are happening there, and I don't know what the due date is, what the construction due date is. We'll keep an eye on that, though. That's kind of my responsibility. I've taken it on myself. Anybody else have anything, or what? Guess who I saw this week?
Yep. We saw Mark Hinderman again. I see
okay.
Mark Hinderman a
Throwing-
lot. I didn't
throwing
realize
BP
throwing a
to
little
Finn.
BP, little
Was he really?
BBs.
future Mazo Mustang.
He's a Mustang.
Ace.
Don't know. He's a good sized boy. I hadn't
Some
I haven't
Some
might
might
seen.
say he's the
Mark?
perfect,
Yeah, I haven't-
perfectly built boy.
What's his name again? Finn.
Finn.
Finn
Hinderman.
Hinderman.
Which
Yeah.
who are you talking about? You talking about Mark or you talking about Finn?
I say he's a good sized boy.
Well, Joe, the apple doesn't
I
fall
was-
far from the tree.
I was
I was
just
talking about Finn.
you weren't very clear. See,
That's true.
If you would have had maybe a picture, I could have zoomed
All right,
in.
we've
We didn't
got
get a
to get
picture.
on.
We didn't
to,
get a video either.
We've got to get on.
Should have gotten an autograph at
Would have
least.
needed to ask for permission.
Yeah, we got to move on to the adventures of Roy from Elroy.
Roy's been walking these streets so long, howling the same old song. Roy knows every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Mazo, where hustle's the name of the game, And nice Roys get washed away like the snow in the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to Roy's horizon. But Roy's gonna be where the lights are shining on him, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a Gary Kosky rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people Roy don't even know, and golfers coming over the phone.
So
Okay,
Dad's
take
got-
just a moment and load that up there.
Oh, we had dead air here for a second.
That's okay. We can talk
No,
about this
he went-
while he gets that
Yeah,
loaded
he went
up.
to the
It's
he
in
went
my
to the
email
doctor's.
address.
He went to the doctor's
Yeah,
office.
Didn't go
Yep.
to the doctor. Yeah.
Doctor.
Well, the dog
Vet
doctor.
doc.
Vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, up in Blue Mounds.
Yeah.
And he had a rash on his underbelly
Yeah.
and some other issues from kind of looked like from his surgery, from his once in a lifetime surgery. And you got some cream or something
Yep.
and put it on him, and then he's got like some doggy acne right under his
That's
chin.
what I've looked it up, and yeah. But we forgot to check that out, I guess, at the
Yeah.
doggy doctor.
Yeah. But Mom
So-
said he did a good job. He gets nervous when he gets up there. Roy gets nervous. And some people would say it's because he's extra smart. That's what we'd say. But that's, he's our dog, so obviously.
There's only 4 here, Dad.
Yeah, that's what I was.
What's in my inbox?
That's only 4.
We're seeing a salt. We're not seeing a salt substitute in here.
Leo, I see salt and pepper. Is there a salt substitute?
I'll get it.
Somebody, just while I check this, you go ahead
We'll
and
keep
talk
going.
a little
Yeah.
bit more.
He's only gained 3 pounds since so he's 67 pounds. Last time he was
Yeah,
about 64.
I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be. He's a tiny little
He
dog.
is.
He's a runt.
He's very proportionate, like Dad said. He's got a big body, but his legs are very short.
He's a short stack.
Yeah, he is. He's fast. He's smart.
Yes.
At 10:17, I think I sent it this morning.
Yep.
Oh, well,
Check it
that's a
out. It's
different-
note
It
to
should
self
be-
It's
below.
not okay. So it's
Note
not
to
part
self
of that
about
same.
10 below.
It's not part of that same one that same
Correct.
email.
Seeing is salt, but not a salt substitute here.
See, you guys always blame me if there's something that's not right. You blame my IT technology.
But you said
Feels
you said
like a
it-
pretty good place to start.
I said, is it part of that email? And you said, yep, it's part of that email.
I said it was in my email inbox.
Yes, but I said, is
Well,
it part of
but
that
I was-
email? I said there were
it's
4 there.
probably
He said,
right-
yep, it's right
probably
there.
right in
Joe's
the
looks
middle.
like Joe's got it here.
He's
It's
got
probably
it,
right
though.
in the middle
Here
of
we go.
my,
Yeah,
my
probably.
speech that I was giving.
Here we go.
Let me speech.
How's it coming up here?
Oh,
we don't have it, Joe,
nice.
because it's not.
Yep.
plugged in.
I'm yep.
Just give me the juice.
Okay. So here it is.
Oh,
Let's bring it
Oh
back
yeah,
out.
my fault.
That's a big Roy. There's
Oh,
Hudson and Roy. That
Hudson.
was this morning, which was last
look
week.
at him.
But you were combing.
I
you
was
were
brushing
him, and he really likes that. In
This-
fact, if you get him in a certain spot, he'll kind
me
of
show you
start
the
licking
brush
you
here.
or chewing on your hand a little bit gently.
This is the brush right here.
Yeah.
He really likes being brushed. Like
Yeah.
he sits so still,
That's-
and he's very
Can't see it very well. This
Listens
is the
very
brush
well.
right here.
And is he 8 months old?
Yes.
Okay.
November. Is that when he was born? November 4th.
Hudson,
Hey,
you
almost.
got kind of a weird look on you.
November 3rd.
Hey,
That's just my face.
Looks like Henry Roland Gardner. Hey,
November 3rd. So he's
That's a nice picture, though.
Yeah,
It's a
he
very
was-
nice picture.
Roy's like,
You guys thought
9 months old.
You guys thought Roy
Basically.
was going to be bigger,
Oh yeah.
taller.
well, he had big paws.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen,
does.
listen. Still got 3 more months.
He
4
looks
more
like
months.
this little medium-sized lap dog. Is what
Yeah.
he looks like.
he's heavy. I mean, 67
Yeah,
pounds.
he
He's
is a short stack. He's no doubt about it.
No.
So anyway, that's all I've got. I'm glad we found that picture because that's a really
Well, I've got some videos
nice.
and stuff like that too
Okay.
that Demond has played for us as well, which is wonderful. So
Mm-hmm.
now we can.
That's my nice lazy boy in the back.
That is, yeah. And there's a shot collar. And now we can move on to our promo for the Gandy Dancer Festival with Kenny Mack. He was on the couch again, giving us the who, what, when, where, why, and how for the Gandy Dancer Festival. So we'll get into that. And we've got a little bit of, when we come out of that, Dad's got a little something that he wants to show us about the Gandy Dancer Festival. For people who might
all learn together.
For people who might not know, or might not be able to, come to the festival and might not know much about it. So we're going to show you, whether you want to or not. So we'll be back with Kenny in just a minute. Hey everybody, Hudson here. My dad's there, and Katie's back there. She was just a guest on the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. We're picking up, let me get my huge head out of the way, another piece for our studio. And you are watching the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast.
Well, here we are. Glad you're here with us. We are welcoming back to the couch Kenny McMillan from the Gandy Dancer Festival, and it is upon us, Kenny. I mean, the whole thing you've been planning for, everything is going toward August 19th. Any, what is it? I don't know. We're a couple weeks out. I suppose you don't know the forecast yet.
Yeah, I have actually been checking already. I feel like it's a little...
Farmer's Almanac.
Right, it's a little superstitious, but because, 2 weeks out, you don't really know much of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks good right now, so, we'll cross our fingers and hope that is really going to hold.
Yeah.
But
so get us started, because some people might be watching this right from the get-go and saying, Gandy Dancer, what is this? Just if you don't mind, just give us a quick overview, date, time, location, and then we can talk about some of the events and, wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds great. So Gandy Dancer Bluegrass Festival is the third Saturday every August. This year it's Saturday, September. Wow. Saturday, August 19th. I guess my brain is in the future already. Yeah. And we have an incredible day of music, family-friendly activities lined up. Things get started around 11 a.m. Kids' activities start right around noon. The festival grounds are really open and accessible. There's parking downtown around the area. So find some parking downtown. We do have some handicap parking that's available too for folks that need accessible parking. Bring a blanket, bring a lawn chair. We do have chairs available too if people need them.
Good. And
just kind of settle in for a nice day of bluegrass music, food, check out museums, other exhibits that we've got going on. It's just a real action-packed one-day festival. Mm-hmm. You can head out in the morning, be home before bed. And this is our 15th festival actually this year. We've taken a couple years off. Started in 2007 and on the east side of Madison, and been a Meso since 2008.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how people can get tickets, where they can get them around Meso or online or whatever. Yeah,
so there's a few ways to get tickets. And I first should actually note that most of the festival is entirely free. Yeah. The only thing that's charged at the festival is the main stage, and that's for the music. If you want to have an event like this go on years down the road, you got to make a little money to keep it going. But otherwise, all the kids' stuff is free. But if you do need tickets for the main stage, you can find those in town at the hardware store, Meso Hardware, and also at the Mazomanie Free Library. Online, they are available at Eventbrite. You can find links to those tickets through our webpage, GandyDancerFestival.org, via Facebook, Instagram. Just do a Google search. There's only one Gandy Dancer Bluegrass Festival, so you can't be mistaken when you're looking online. And find tickets that way. As I mentioned, you can certainly feel free to kind of, come in for the day, set up. The only thing we do ask is that no carry-ins. We have lots of really incredible local vendors, restaurants that will be providing food down on the promenade. And that actually brings up another point. We're primarily a cash event. We do have some ways that people can pay with check or maybe Venmo, but you should, for the most part, be prepared to pay cash for things.
Good point. Yeah.
We find that a lot of people, if they have, AT&T or Sprint maybe, might have some reception issues down on the promenade. Okay. And so we've had people try to do electronic payment in the past, and it doesn't always work out. So definitely come with some cash for the day to get ready to spend on the food, which, speaking of spending money, if you do buy your tickets now, they are $15 at this point in time. Or when you wait until the day of, they'll be $20 at the gate. So it can certainly save a bit of money. But in the end, this is a nonprofit organization. So if you are feeling charitable, you can always wait and buy your tickets at the gate and consider it a little extra donation for the festival.
Yeah. And I suppose this doesn't happen a ton, but you wouldn't you wouldn't, one of your volunteers, are they brightly colored so that if somebody said, hey, here, I want to give you a $10 tip or something like that and take it to do you accept that for donations?
Absolutely. You can leave donations at any of the ticket sales or drink sales areas. We also have a donation page set up on our website. So you can donate anytime you're around via PayPal on our website. My train of thought wandered, but
will you?
We'll
That's fine. Will you like you have a Gandy Dancer emblem there? Will you have some merch? Will you?
Right.
Will your volunteers be wearing that type of stuff? So they say, "Oh, there's a volunteer. You know, I can ask a question if I need to."
We'll have fresh T-shirts this year, so you can look for our volunteers in those T-shirts. Our committee members who really make this happen will have a special committee member notation on their sleeve, so you can look for any of those people. And they will make sure to get your questions answered, give me a holler. We do have those same shirts that people will be wearing for sale at our merch table. At our last podcast, I got to give Stefan an apology because I called his business the wrong name. But working with Stefan with Mesographics and Print, I don't remember what I called it, but it wasn't the right name before.
Words by Design, maybe?
Yeah.
I've heard you said that before as well.
Yeah. It was not the right title. But either way, Stefan has been an incredible partner to add into the festival recently, and he designed all of the merch for us. And so you can find some really awesome stickers, hats, posters, things like that, right at the west entrance.
You have a jam session, and last time you were here, you weren't 100% sure of. I think you might have been sure of the time, but not the location. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah,
and how do people get involved if they want to?
Right. There's another exciting update with the Bluegrass Jam too. I'll first start off with mentioning that Art Stevenson, our 5 p.m. Band leader and one of the most notable names in bluegrass in Wisconsin, is actually going to lead the Bluegrass Jam. So if you've ever wanted to really get in touch with bluegrass at its core in Wisconsin, you can just stop in at the Bluegrass Jam tent, which is going to be located on Broadhead Street, near the library. I think it's American Legion Drive. Yeah, it's going to be at the head of that street with the tent there, which is the location of the kids' tent until that shuts down.
Got it.
We'll also note with a Bluegrass Jam, after Art Stevenson is taken off, because he starts at 5 o'clock, so he can't be jamming until 5 o'clock.
Sure.
When he takes off, the handpicked Bluegrass Band folks, our openers for the day, are going to pick up where Art left off. And as I mentioned in the last podcast, the bassist for handpicked Bluegrass Band actually played with Bill Monroe, who is one of the real grandfathers of bluegrass music.
Yeah.
Grab water here.
Yeah. As you come down Broadhead Street off of Commercial or Highway 14, then what I'm envisioning is you get, by the depot, the library, and the promenade, you're going to have a tent with music.
Yep.
And then you're going to have down the promenade, you're going to have music. So if you go down Broadhead walking or whatever, you're going to get serenaded on both sides.
Exactly. You can't miss it. And that Bluegrass Jam is open to anybody, even if you picked up an instrument for the first time this year. Absolutely go on and step on down. Most musicians will tell you that it's not really a well-kept secret that most music is about 4 or 5 different chords all put together. And I guarantee anybody can learn 3 to 5 chords in a half hour. And once you've got that, you can just jam around the whole time. Or play the wrong notes, nobody will care. They're they're making music. Just play quietly, right? Yeah. Or, sometimes fake it till you make it and just enjoy the ambiance of being in the Bluegrass Jam.
So fiddle, banjo, guitar,
lap guitar, upright bass. You can be creative. Bring a flute. I don't care.
Is the steel guitar considered bluegrass?
Yeah, steel guitar.
Good. You like that?
That's my favorite.
It's a little bit more Western, but you will find steel guitar a little bit more common, like lap guitars, kind of steel guitar-esque. But yeah, sure. Why not? I've got a 6-string banjo tar that I'll be bringing down for the Bluegrass Jam, which I just received that over the past year here and got that tuned up, and it's ready for showtime now.
Nice. So it's Saturday, August 19th in downtown Mazomanie. Starts at 11.
Yep, starts at 11 a.m. Doors open at 10:30.
Got it. Okay. Any other details before we let you go here?
Yeah, let me quickly check here, my notes here. I want to quick give a couple of shout outs while I've got the time here. First, as I mentioned earlier, the festival happens because of a really awesome group of committee members. Do want to give another special shout out to Gail Harrop. Gail and I are kind of like 1A and 1B, alternating on days on who's driving this festival and making things really happen. So Gail, thank you. Other notes this year, I think we are, weather permitting, going to have a dance floor actually installed for the day of the festival. So if you're a dancer, you can look forward to that dance floor.
That's
being
right
added
out in front of where the people are playing.
Yeah,
where
we'll
the
have
bands
that
are
right
playing.
next to the stage. Can
Got it.
thank John and Jerry Springstead for donating that to the festival. So John and Jerry, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, other notes real quick. Well-behaved dogs are allowed at the festival. We usually have a few pups each year that will come on down, and that's a pretty frequently asked question.
Roy won't be going down.
Our dog won't be going.
My dogs won't be going down either.
We've got at least a year yet. So.
Yeah. My dogs are not even close to ready for that. But yeah, I think those are the main points I want to get across. We've got a really incredible day of music.
Yeah.
Each band on its own could put on an entire concert that people would be happy with. I can't tell you how fortunate we are to have this kind of a quality lineup here in Mazomanie. It's incredible.
Good. Well, thank you for not only the last time you came, the interview, but this time. And we're going to keep this here.
Sweet.
And if something happens, I'm talking about, don't be a stranger.
Okay.
As the year progresses, I know this is kind of a one-day event, but as you get more information, maybe we'll have you in the wintertime. You can come back and say, hey, this is what's happening, and we'll highlight that.
Right.
And get some details out right away. Some
that
exciting
sounds awesome.
details.
Certainly have some designs for down the road. One of the missions of the Bluegrass Festival is to help improve the promenade. And I think that, maybe spoiler alert, it would be nice to start working on getting a mural downtown. And I think the festival might be kind of leading the charge on getting a little bit of artwork downtown and maybe beautify that space a little bit more. So maybe have some updates for that down the road. I'm speaking it into existence right now.
Yes.
So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah. Kenny McMillan from the Gandy Dancer Festival. And that, again, is Saturday, August 19th. Starts at 11, doors open at 10:30, and it goes till, who knows, right?
9, 10 o'clock at the latest.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still get home and get in bed at a nice time.
Absolutely.
See you there.
For sure.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, how you doing? This is Todd and Hudson. This episode of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast is reverse sponsored by Wick Buildings right here in Mazomanie. For over 65 years, Wick Buildings has designed, engineered, and built quality post-frame buildings. So whether you need an agricultural building, a barn dominium, a pole barn home or a pole barn, a commercial building, or an equestrian building, head over to Wick Buildings' website, wickbuildings.com. Over 75,000 buildings built since 1954. Wick Buildings, your dreams, our building expertise. Together, we can build something special. And Wick Buildings, a reverse sponsor of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Now back to more of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast. We'd like to thank Kenny McMillan for stopping by and giving us the lowdown on the Gandy Dancer Festival that is happening on August 19th. I won't bore you with any more details because he has already given us all the details. But we did want to share a little something like, well, Dad wanted to share something about the Gandy Dancer.
Related to the Gandy Dancer, because a lot of people don't, a lot of people, I didn't know about anything about the Gandy Dancers until Kenny Mack came on the couch just a few months ago or a month ago, and then just this last week. And so it was interesting. But this is a Gandy Dancer thing that, as you can see, was on NBC News, and it's 2.5 minutes, 2:50.
3 minutes, yeah.
And so we're just going to watch this together and just enjoy it. It'll give you a little bit, just a little bit of an insight into some Gandy Dancer history. Go for it.
So it's really not 2 minutes.
Right. That's why I said 2.5.
Those are the Gandy Dancer, or the Gandy tools that they're using from the Gandy Company.
My grandma put a roll on me. One was blind and one could see. My grandma put a roll on me. He don't buy that line. Oh, 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 buy that line.
I think I was cut out for a railroad man because my father was one. When I was about the age of 19 and 20 years old when I first started, and the boss man was out there on the road, I asked him, could I call the line and track? And he said, yeah, call it any way you want to call it. I said, okay. Then I started. I hit the song, I said, hey, 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 how long? I said, oh, boys, say, put me in ham and a ham of toes. You want to see the ham and my God, oh, boy, let light. Oh, boy, let light. Oh, boy, let light. I know how to live. And when I get off and get to the job, I don't get there and stand around. I get there and moving. You know, me moving, I get there and move. When I move, they move. Oh, boy, let light. Oh, boy, let light. Come on, back here. Back up. I hold my boss man looking. If he done, I'm sorry for him. He's the best one I got to call the line. Oh, yeah. He is the best I know of anywhere. All line, all move. There's a very few young people now will take a job like this. It's a little bit too hard to work.
Oh, ouch.
I don't think I might not live long, but I'm intending to live as long as I can and die when I can't help it.
Well, live as long as I can and die when I can't help it. So are they correcting it maybe? Has it like shimmied a little bit over?
Yeah, no. Will all us make it home? Whoa,
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, it's kind of a dance, you know, kind of a dance and way to all be together on something and
interesting.
Be in step.
We won't show that because the other one had really bad quality, but they were no, there was a different one that they did. It was old.
It was worse than that.
And they were moving it. I mean, they were
that was
moving
back in the 20s, I think.
Really making it move. So
if you want to look at it, just type into YouTube Gandy Dancer Workers or something, and you'll get a bunch of interesting historical things.
All right, time for the Wonder Wheel.
Where'd he go?
Right here.
Oh, you gonna start?
I mean, I can.
It's your turn.
Please do it. I think it's your turn. Yeah.
Speaking of go ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
Didn't really go.
Two.
There you go.
One.
Did you have one for one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, it happens to be about the bus barn.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. That
You
worked
sure
out.
you want me to?
You can spin it again if you want. It'll be each number. Okay, so here it is. Back to school days are coming up.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yep. Well, for a lot of people,
For
but
me
like
it
for
was.
me, it was when you enjoyed school and you were so good at school. Valedictorian. I mean, there was a valedictorian my senior year.
He was in your. That person was in your class. Yeah.
Yep. 45 years ago, by the way. Wow. We're celebrating our 45th. Our classes.
When is that?
It's coming up September. We're
September?
getting together.
That's
Anyway,
it's kind of late, isn't it?
we decided a few years ago or a few times ago to have it on Wild West Day weekend. So people, if they wanted to come back and
that's smart.
Be back for Wild West Days. We used to have it during the summer. Anyway, okay, a memory, funny story or story about school bus. Ride on the school bus. All you guys rode on the school bus at one point or the other. It doesn't have to be funny. Doesn't have to be long. But mine, just so you know, mine is going to be 3 stories, short stories about bus drivers.
Bus driver.
Bus driver. So you can use bus driver. You can use funny or
only one other person here can tell a funny story because Dad's got 3.
They're short.
But they're big.
All short stories.
All right, who's Drew starting?
I can start. Sure.
Please start.
Mine is a shared memory with John, and I think it's just an overall memory. And I'll name a few names. We used to ride. I was a kindergartner, and we would ride down to Mazo, and in that day, for Mazo Elementary, because the middle school had not been built yet.
Yeah.
Correct.
So Mazo middle schoolers, 8th to 6th grade, 6th grade to 8th grade, still went to the individual Mazo Elementary and Black Earth Elementary, respectively. So
You've made your point.
I was a kindergartner, and that was the last year that they still had the 8th graders there. So I was there with the big kids.
Wow.
Anyway, so we rode the bus with the big kids, and Josh Parkin and Miguel Castro would throw John's sandwiches that he didn't eat. I don't know why he wasn't eating them. But it was from his lunch,
obviously.
and he would throw them. They would throw them at people's mailboxes.
Yeah. I did not.
John was
Careful.
not involved in this.
Well, I was involved.
Other than he was an accomplice.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He was providing.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But to
Other
give
than
it to
hand
them.
over.
Hand
Because you
over
were
the
only in
handler
3rd grade.
Well, they were kind of
Correct.
big too.
Correct.
They were probably what, in like 6th grade or 7th grade.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're and they would also pick on Donnie Dietzen.
Mm-hmm.
And I one time, being the loudmouth kindergartner that I was sometimes, I yelled at them one time for making fun of Donnie Dietzen.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Donnie Dietzen, hey, that was our stop. He was a part of our stop.
Yep.
And I remember sometimes we had the bus stop right out by.
This is another story?
Yeah, it's part of
Okay.
it. We'd have it right out by the old.
Only Dad gets 3.
Whose house was it? Was it the Ashlemans at that point?
Yeah.
We'd have, which is now the Parman's house.
Yeah.
And we'd have the bus stop there. And I remember sometimes we'd be sitting there and the bus was almost there. And we were like, where is Donnie?
Mm-hmm.
Tracy was never late.
Nope.
Always on time.
Yep.
And then we were wondering, where's Donnie?
And she always had
all
a
of a
huge
sudden,
backpack.
Donnie would come
Yep.
walking,
Grooving. Yep.
grooving on over. And he'd always, I think he'd always make the bus. Sometimes he was running.
Del Bryant would have been your bus driver, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Open up the bus like that.
All right.
Anyway, but yeah, there's.
We said that Del was a farmer, and
Right.
so he would just go from milking
Milking
cows,
cows.
and then just turn it and then just
And
drive.
and
then
then
he'd
he'd
pick up his-
drive,
he'd pick
and
up
then
his
he'd
pail.
open up. Yeah.
And then he'd open.
Yeah.
Open up the
Wave you across.
for when you, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It was just more of a.
All right, Joe, let's hear it. Your turn.
Go ahead. Somebody else.
Oh,
I'm
you don't
still.
have
I'm
one.
still
He's
formulating
pondering.
mine.
He's still
Okay, well,
formulating.
mine will be short because
I can tell one
Dan's
in
got
between
3.
either. If you
Joe's
want.
making memories right
Yes,
now.
No, so I don't have really any. I don't have any great memories other than the fact that I was homeschooled until 8th grade, and when I was in 6th grade, we moved. I was in band, and so band class was the first hour of the day, and it was out at the middle school. Hence 6th grade, and so I would ride the bus out to band, and I would bring a backpack with a notebook.
Probably drumsticks.
And my drumsticks. And I'd give him more cowbell.
But you also got to ride the bus with Dad. Remember when you went to
Ball games.
yeah, ball games?
I thought
That's
you were
bus
gonna say
drivers.
something else. Yeah, but that was kind of the highlight, was being able to get on the bus
All by yourself.
and go to
Yeah.
band, and then I'd get picked up right after band by
see.
Mom.
I think honestly, for those of you who rode the bus for over 5 or so years, if you just spent some time, you could think of more things.
I'm sure.
To talk about.
Yeah, there's
Lots
plenty-
of
there's
things, because I
plenty
can
of-
think of tons.
Yes, there are plenty of stories.
Like throw up, and the kids would throw up, and then they'd throw that stuff on it.
Yeah.
That was like. It's kind of like a thing,
Cat
dry,
mix almost.
just
Yeah.
dry stuff, like dry,
Diamond dry.
diamond dry.
And then
but
I would
yeah, it
always
was-
ask myself, I mean, is the plan to clean that up, or is that it? Is that the cleanup process?
During the winter, it just got mushed
Yeah,
into
it
the
just stayed- yeah,
mud
it's just-
and
right,
whatever else.
Big John.
So Butch Thorson was probably my favorite bus driver just because he got us there
Facebook
fast
friend
and
of
he was kind of nice. He was a nice guy, but one time he trusted too much of the people in the back at a baseball game at River Valley. He was trying to. It's not very good parking over there to get close, and he was parking in front of a truck, but he wanted to give it more room so that he wasn't right next to the park. Or sorry, not right next to the field. And so he asked 2 people, and I won't mention their names, but probably 2 least trustworthy people on the bus that were at the back of the bus to help him with backing up, and they kept telling him that he was good. And all of a sudden, we ran into the truck. So I don't know if that was not necessarily a good memory, but he
It
kind of
stood out for sure.
Stood out.
Yeah.
And so he hit the truck after they were telling him, you're good, and backed right into
just
it and
buffed those scratches
hit that
out.
truck that was there. So then he had to get off the bus and he had to deal with it. And
Yeah,
anyway.
that's tough.
Yep.
Take us behind those rocks.
Moving behind the rocks.
Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop. Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches.
I just remember you kind of had a when you first got on the bus, you sat right at the front of the bus because you're on the low end of the totem pole.
Don't- early days.
Then you started
way up.
moving back,
Yep.
but especially when you were a little bit like 4th, 5th grade when they had when you'd get home, you'd be driven home from school. There wasn't high schoolers on there,
Because
so
it was
and middle
earlier.
schoolers because of this middle school being out there
Yeah.
and Mazo and Black Earth having their own schools. So you would be able to sit. You were as a 5th grader and 4th grader. You were then really cool because you could sit in the back of the bus.
Yep.
But then it all started over again once you got into
Yeah,
6th grade.
yeah.
Because
There was a definite pecking order,
Yes.
I remember. And I remember sometimes you'd be on the bus and you could see a big person coming on, and you thought, I'll just shuffle on up closer to the front.
I just
Every
was
once in a
warming it up
while,
for
I
you.
remember when we got older, sometimes you'd go to the back of the bus and you'd say, listen here, fellas. And they'd kind of give you lip. You'd go, what's happened here? We've lost our pecking order. And that's what happened sometimes.
And it really made it difficult when you got into high school when Sammy was still riding the bus and
True.
as a senior.
He always had
you just-
seniority.
and it's like, well, this is gonna be tough
Would
now.
he lay down in his seat, basically?
You guys also rode the bus with Mike Wilkinson.
John did.
Yeah,
John did,
Johnny
yeah.
did. That's a good memory right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Dad's got 3.
I
so-
managed to become best friends with Mike, regardless of not being able to ride the bus with him.
But you don't like to mix business with pleasure.
Yeah,
So
That's what makes you. And these are just like grade school memories. I have high school
Oh.
and college.
I think I know what one's going to be.
I have college. You have college. You went to college and rode on buses.
I
you
sure
guys
did, too.
You'd have college bus stories too.
You have
Ours are more
grown
van
adult
stories.
memories.
bus
of
stories,
those,
yeah.
a while.
Yep,
Do you
like with
remember
the
that? You and
bond
I.
and stuff.
Once.
Yeah,
And you
once
and
or
I,
twice
well,
we
I'm
did it
saying,
too. It's like,
when I was
what?
helping,
No.
well,
Well, coach.
coach that
Yeah.
one time.
Anyway, I'm going to talk about bus drivers here. The first one is a guy we used to call Peter Pan. He kind of had blonde hair, and he had a little bit of like something ears that kind of were a little pokey. We always called him Peter Pan. And he drove so fast. And when we down by Highway 14 by the Schlues house there, just off of Highway 14, you take a right, and I can't even remember what that road now is. It goes up by Kim Sears Hacker's house and stuff, and Fonsali's. What's the name of the road? Anyway,
Saul?
it might be.
No,
yeah.
I think it's
well, the
Morrill.
Saul Farm is right there.
Morrill Road.
You're right.
I think you're right.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
like
you take
Sally?
as you're going west, you take a right on Morrill Road, and they fixed the bridge. But he used to go so fast over this old rickety bridge, and all of us would fly up, and we looked forward to it. You'd almost hit your head on the thing.
Did you
and
kinda
Do you think he
jump?
did that?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
did
tried
that
to
on
get-
purpose because he knew you guys liked doing it. Maybe
I don't think so. He was just in a hurry all the time. Kind of like
His
Butch
job-
Thorson, getting you places.
His
you
job
needed
was to get you from here to there. That's
It
what
was
his
almost
job
like
was.
a roller coaster ride going up with him. And of course, it was probably dangerous. Maybe he shouldn't have been doing it. But that was just
It was a lasting
that was
memory.
life in the 60s, you know? Second thing is we used to have a late bus. You guys don't know anything about this, but we, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for the A and B team, which was the 7th and 8th grade team back then in Mazo, they would actually bring a bus. They'd run a bus there at 5:30 after practice and take all of us home. And so I was always the last one off. I don't know why. But the bus, is dark. It was kind of scary. But Alvin Ralke was our bus driver, nice old farmer. And I would sit right behind him, and we'd be driving home, and he had the biggest ears. And he had these big things, and I'd watch his ears bounce. That's what I liked watching.
In the dark.
Yep. Well, you could see it because there were the lights on
such
the
a-
dash.
that's
such a
Diane?
kid thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Huh?
Nope.
Diane Rauke?
Well,
Well,
she's
maybe
married into that.
by
Would
married
that,
by marriage.
would that have been her husband's?
Maybe Grandpa. I was probably 10, 11 years old,
Yeah.
so that was in the
That's such a
early
kid thing to
70s.
do is to watch
He had big ears.
Yeah, just watch big ears.
And big lobes that would bounce when he drove the bus. Lastly, Marianne Helmenstein, Jerome Helmenstein, and Mary Jo's and such. She drove a long time, and they went through a period. I think you guys had this too, where like Christmas and maybe even some other time, Halloween, they'd get big candy bars out.
What?
Really nice big candy bars to everybody. They went through that stage, and she did that. But she ran a bus. She was a farm woman, and she wasn't very big, but she ran the bus with an iron fist. And you know what she would say if you misbehaved?
Get in the well.
Get in the well. She would scream, "Get in the well!" Sorry about that. Had to do it. That's what she sounded like. And so
just could not.
So your punishment was to go up in the most dangerous place. It was the well, which would be totally illegal. They wouldn't allow that anymore. But that was your punishment, to get out of your seat, and sheepishly, you got called out in a big time way. You had to go walk all the way up the bus, which seemed like a long way. And then you had to stand there. And if you got in an accident, dead.
That was your punishment.
Like that. That was your punishment.
For being an idiot.
Yep.
She's
all of
kinda
those
hoping.
things. Yeah.
She's kind of hoping.
She's driving real recklessly.
Opening the door open.
No, she was a great bus driver, so that wasn't a problem. But it's just kind of funny. Get in the well, illegal.
Get in the well.
But that was life in the 60s.
I thought for sure it would be playing euchre on the bus.
Yeah,
in the
I
mornings.
had that and I erased
okay.
it because we played euchre every morning for like 10 years for 45 minutes each day.
Sometimes the bus drivers, I would remember, some of them didn't care. They just were focused on the road. You could kind of you could get away with murder back there.
Seat hopping.
Then there were others that seemed to care a lot. And their eyes, you could see
They
eyes.
They had that mirror up there.
It was like this. Yeah, it's the
Appreciate
real.
the help.
Yeah.
The eyes
You
you
looked
could
like you were
see.
struggling.
Right. The eyes you could see, and you were wondering,
What could you see them in?
Are you talking to me?
Are you paying attention to the road at all?
No.
Because you were looking back here a lot.
It's almost like their eyes were up there the whole time.
Exactly. That's what I was doing. Right.
Yeah.
Kind of
But-
like
but-
that umpire the other night.
But
You could see everything.
back in the 60s and 70s, there just weren't, people didn't have quite as much expendable income. A lot of kids around here, like when they got to be a junior or senior, they were able to bring like the car in that their mom didn't need that day because they only had a car and a farm truck, or maybe they'd bring the farm truck in. But so everybody rode the bus till like maybe you got to be a junior or senior.
Yeah.
And then, there were a lot of people riding the bus. I don't know if that's so. It seems like a lot of people take their kids to school now and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, we did it.
That's the
That's
Wonder
been
Wheel.
episode 70. Thank you for taking the time to join us for that.
Thanks for
And
Kenny Mack.
Maybe you
showing
have a bus story that you'd like to tell us about in the comments or something like that. Feel free to do that. We will see you later next week, episode 71.